He's wanting you to throw things around. I need food to move back, please, while I move it out.
Okay.
Please. We move all the way back. It's trying to take over my body. Just move all the way. I said move back!
The following program has been filmed for your entertainment. However, viewers may find some scenes disturbing. There are many kilometers of tunnels inside the rock. They were built at a time of great need for Gibraltar. During their construction, there were explosions, accidents, people died here. People lived in miserable and cramped conditions. This week on the Ghost Trail, we take a drive up the Great North Road to see what happened during the Second World War inside the rock.
My name is Michael Scott, and I'm the skeptic. Personally, obviously because of my personal beliefs, I don't think that there's any truth, or at least it depends what the specific claim is. But if it's with regard, let's give an example of maybe something like astrology or something, where people read their horoscopes to try and determine what's going to happen in their day, or what they should do. Those sort of things, I don't think there's any sort of link, any reason why they should follow those things. But from the other perspective, I don't necessarily think that mediums themselves are fooling people. I don't think that they're coming from the perspective where they're trying to they're con artists.
My name is Kieran Possum. I'm a believer. I'm part of the Gibraltar Paranormal Society. People who will swear to this, not just myself, we've been to the old generating station which is inside the World War II tunnels inside the rock. We have seen physical lights appear there, red and green lights and orbs all over the place, and they're not just sort of stuck on the wall which somebody can say, oh, it's a laser light. This is literally floating in the middle of a room, and this is not through camera, this is seen with our own eyes.
Even though we have people who have different beliefs and different thoughts, everyone's very respectful of each other, and everyone is willing to work together as a team, and everyone's very excited about this project as well. And I think that's important, because I think that will transmit well to the people who will be watching this program, and it makes for great television.
Right, well, perhaps most obviously the World War II tunnels again are a very interesting site. The construction of the tunnels, working conditions there must have been absolutely atrocious. There were accidents. These men are working with explosives hour by hour, day by day. So accidents will happen, and in fact they did. People died within the tunnels, either as a result of accidental explosions, asphyxia and the conditions within the tunnels. But that aside, interesting as it is, there is also another story which is worth exploring, and that is the Laconia disaster, which took place in 1963. The Laconia was a vessel, a cruise ship effectively, which caught fire in waters very near Gibraltar. As a result, for a variety of reasons, inadequate safety measures on board, there was huge loss of life. 53 bodies were brought to Gibraltar. They were kept at Remy chambers, the Remy chambers which form part of the tunnel system we have here in Gibraltar. And the Remy chambers effectively became a mortuary for a couple of months. And we have here the reports, the coroner's reports, which was published in February 1964 on the bodies, the 53 bodies. And it's a very sad story. It's a very gruesome read, effectively. People have died, obviously, from injuries sustained in the fire, to asphyxia, drowning because they jumped overboard. So it's a terrible tragedy. It's a very sad story, but a case which I think is very interesting to explore, perhaps because it gives us a different angle to the stories, the very interesting stories that lie within the tunnel system of Gibraltar.
The tunnels, as you know, are extensive, 34 miles of them. When they were built, there was not much of safety and security like there is today. You know, it was military. There's a war going on. Get on with the job. You know, if we have an accident, tough. You know, and many people died in those tunnels. You know, from accidents and things like that. And yes, a lot of people have seen lots of ghosts all over the place. One of the most famous one is the major and his dog. I refute that. I say it's not a major. I say it's a Royal Military policeman with his patrol dog that they see. Because if you look at the photograph I've provided, the RMPs used to wear peaked hats like the officers. So the first impression when they see this, oh, it's an officer. No, it's not an officer. It's a military policeman who used to wear hats very similar to the officers' hats. So it's not the major and his dog. It's an RMP with his patrol dog, a station running around the place.
Well, the tunnels, clearly, the origin of the tunnels goes back to the origin of the Royal Engineers, back to the 18th century. But by 1939, there were only about 7 miles of tunnels. It really wasn't that much. Some extension had been done in the First World War. But it's really during the Second World War that the big extension, all the sort of 30-odd miles of tunnels are built.
Samantha Donbevand says she can speak to those who have left our mortal realm. However, she has never been to Gibraltar before, she doesn't know where we're taking her, and she hasn't done any prior research.
I work on a spiritual level as a psychic and a medium, so I'm able to connect people with their loved ones if they've passed over. But it's all about moving people forward, and we all have the answers within. So for instance, if somebody comes to me who's suffering from chronic pain, I'm able to reduce that symptom very, very quickly through using hypnotherapy, regression therapy, psychotherapy, and all the different tools.
Everything you see in this part of the program actually happened.
Fragmentation, so souls that I need to take up to the light today, they're fragmented. If you imagine, some of them have just been shot, or there's that type of energy here. And this just claustrophobic fear. Claustrophobic fear is the main thing I get. How can I put it? It's like something. I can see soldiers and spirit soldiers coming in on the boats. That's what I can visualise, and they're coming here, and they're obviously hiding from the war. But there's a huge sense of mistrust. So at some point in this tunnel, where I channeled that, there was fear, huge sense of, how did I describe it? Like being choked with fear. It was as if there was just one black sheep in the whole of the crew that evoked this fear.
Okay.
Like someone's told them, do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
I can't, consciously while I'm like this, I can't think of the words, but you understand what I mean. Well, I don't know on the right hand side, like I said, they were just laid out.
Yeah.
They were just laid out, and I got the body tremors, so it's as if they were injured or.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when we had a chat with you? And we were originally had some plans to visit the World War II tunnels, and you volunteered to come along.
Mm-hmm. On the ground, lying on the ground. And I told her that, look, many people died here during the war making these tunnels. There were many accidents, and obviously there were many casualties. Safety was not like it is today in those days. And also we were in the proximity of Calpe Hospital, and there are photographs, I've got photographs, of the whole ward there full of people lying on the ground. They weren't lying in proper beds, but they were very, very low sort of mattresses, and they were all lying on the ground. So that also struck a bell there. I said, oh, how can she know about this? There were five underground hospitals. This is one of them. Okay.
Do you just want to show the cameras?
The thing that impressed me most was when she said that there were no eyes, no eyes, no eyes. And that really struck, because the last time we did something like this, the other medium that came also said that there was somebody in the same area without any eyes.
There's a huge sense of injustice. Some type of commander colonel, something of authority, that's what I get, and it's his eyes. He's very agitated, he cannot stop moving. It's as if he has to just completely just keep moving even though he has no eyes. Oh, it's got no eyes.
But concentrate on how he's dressed. What type of dress is he wearing? What color, if you can. It's very important.
Red, navy type of colour. I don't know what that's significant.
Say again?
Like a red or navy is coming through. What we show.
Is he dominant? Is he very dominant?
He's not aggressive. He's not an aggressive cell at all. He just wants the truth there.
Is he restraining others from coming out? Like being in charge of it and not allowing any other spiritual things coming out because he's the dominant one. He doesn't want anybody else to interfere, and he's the boss. Let's put it this way.
He had an integral heart, sir. He had an integral heart. I don't understand what he's showing me that, but there's something about his heart that he was misunderstood. So there's something about me channeling him that he's wanting, that's why. There's something about heart.
I'm thinking of Sacred Heart. Is he
There's
religious?
something about heart.
Is he religious? That's why I was asking you about the colour.
He was driven more to it, religion. It didn't come to him, it was fed to him. Thank you. It was fed to him as opposed to it coming from within. But there's just something about heart that's resonating why he's wanted to channel through me today to get this information.
Because red and the heart is the Sacred Heart.
Okay.
You see what
So
I
that
mean?
would make sense.
Exactly.
And he's seen my heart and
Yes.
in what I do. Which is why he's let me come here and do. Yeah.
So you need to release on that?
Thank you. Thank you.
And the next thing was when she couldn't breathe. The place where she said, I can't breathe, I can't breathe.
I'm like this. Spirit has shown me this. Spirit has shown me this.
It's like that. Oh, nice.
What would be happening if they were walking down here? Like this type of action now, where they're having to walk very slowly and very silently.
I don't know why, because the engines will be running off and making quite a bit of noise, you know.
But there's something about him having to walk really, really silently.
No, further in.
This would be how they were laid out though, wouldn't it, when they're passed over? Okay, thank you.
Is the place we're going to go into
This
now.
is where...
Originally was an air raid shelter when the war
Okay.
started, you see? And civilians were put in there.
Yeah, so this is why I'm getting this.
And once the civilians left, the place was turned into a hospital, you see? They didn't waste any space. They would take advantage. Mind your heads, mind your heads. Over to the right. Be careful, you're going to trip there behind.
Yeah.
Be careful. Right, that's it.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
We have to go through that doorway over there.
Be lots of people brought here very quickly, wouldn't there? It was a very quick turnaround.
Yes, mind your...
Very, very, very quick turnaround with the people who were coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out here.
Yes.
Certainly, again, Spirit showed me this, so there would be lay like this. There would be huddling, as I get as well. A lot of, obviously, but I'm getting this type of sensation. Not many children, but a couple of children may have been brought here as well, but not as profound as the other hospital. Very heavy, very heavy, very heavy. Very heavy, like they just know they're going to die here. There's something about heaviness, and this is an area he doesn't like.
We're going round.
He doesn't like it.
No, he doesn't. Apparently.
He doesn't like this at all. So I'm just going to I'm going to ask him not to give me any more information. I'm just going to leave him here for a moment. He will not go in there. There's something about there that he doesn't like.
Right.
I don't think he liked he may have had the eyes thing, but he did not like it. It's like, okay, thank you. His sense of smell was heightened, and you could smell the death, and that's what he's showing me. He could not go any further. Okay, so I'm gonna. I understand now. I'm just gonna leave him here, and I'll carry on. I can feel the restriction. People were being restricted as meds were being given. There's just something.
No, you don't trip them.
Stir crazy, hey? Times. Stir crazy. In the mind. Stir crazy. Stir crazy. So at some point they would have been doing things here with the mind when they were going crazy. There was a few of them that were going crazy.
Careful.
Obviously with the darkness and being in here. Are we all okay?
Someone phoned me. Just a few minutes ago, whilst we were backing up into that tunnel, you had a little bit of an experience there. Can you just talk us through it?
Well, I was backing up through the tunnel, and I kind of tried to duck into one of the really small rooms, like the bathrooms, and I don't know, I ran in and I got like this just overwhelming feeling, and it just kind of frightened me a bit, so I just backed up, and I just fell over this big pole that was behind me. I don't know, it just was this weird feeling, and I got kind of...
Have you ever
I just
felt
didn't
anything
like
like that
it.
before?
No.
You have the reference
Not
to
that, no,
compare it
not
to?
that I can really remember, no.
But it wasn't comfortable for you?
No, it was not comfortable. It was even more uncomfortable after I fell into the muddy pit.
Mind the top end.
Oh, goodness me. Can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Something about in here that I can't breathe. I can't breathe, what is that?
A bit further on.
Oh, I can't breathe.
You've got something very
I
interesting.
can't breathe.
That's
I
something.
can't breathe.
Is there smoke?
I can't breathe.
Is there much smoke?
I can't breathe.
There goes smoke.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. It's as if I can't go any further, I just cannot breathe.
Just a little bit more, please.
She says she can't go any further indeed.
I will show you why you cannot breathe.
Okay, just give me a minute.
So she can...
I'm just going to take this energy up and out. It was just channeled and showed me.
There is a reason for
Can't
that.
breathe, I can't, my nose is running and that's what they're showing me.
What's that?
Such a weakness,
Look above. Now you know what that is?
No.
That is ventilation. And this is an old gun battery from the 1800s. And most probably there was a lot of smoke in here when the guns fired and they couldn't breathe. And that's where the smoke would get out.
Strength and mistake it for anger and frustration, and that was where he was frustrated that the misunderstanding was there. So what I get is he's happy that he's been able to channel from heart, from me to you.
It was very intense, as the other experiences have been as well. Probably more so than the other ones I've felt. Like sort of, I haven't personally felt anything myself, but looking at her and other people's reactions, I've seen that most people have felt more of more things in this location rather than the other ones.
She seems to have formed quite a bit of a bond with Tito as well.
She did, yeah, that's true, yeah. I think he took quite a liking to her, yeah, and he seemed to sort of...
Kindred spirits.
Yeah, they sparked off, yeah, definitely, absolutely, yeah.
And there was a lot of information feeding off between them, wasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, he was convinced that she was giving. Well, it seemed to me from my side that she was giving accurate information. Yeah.
Samantha has picked up on some things which was picked up by a medium we brought previously. She was speaking about this individual with no eyes. That was, funny enough, has been picked up before. Although the other medium portrayed this individual, the spirit, or whatever you want to classify him as, in a different light. Well, there's a hospital here, but it's funny that she mentioned it was on the right-hand side as we were coming up.
Okay.
Because there is a link here, I believe, to the Flat Bastion Hospital. This hospital per se was never used as a hospital. That is my understanding. But the Flat Bastion Hospital was, and it does connect up to this area. So it is also an area where other mediums, when they have been coming up, have been sort of associating with the use of the hospital. And it is further down this tunnel on the right-hand side. She's correct.
Next week, Ghost Trail.
The building holds a wealth and a fountain of information, but does it also hold dark secrets? We'll be at the Gibraltar Museum.